Hi, welcome to Truth to Tal Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 75 coming at you tonight.
75.
That's a big one.
It's cool.
Mean Joe Green from the Steel Curtain defense.
Yeah, love Mean Joe Green. Good commercial.
He was awesome. Lots of NFL opening week chatter. Big episode for some of our non-sports fans. A rewatchable episode that a lot of people have been asking for. Myself, Isaac, and the world-famous Isaac Oglan is going to join us tonight.
It's a good crossover event.
Yeah, it is a very good crossover event. Really just going to appeal to all sorts of fans. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some betting.
Very brief. Yeah, it's a new segment that we're going to introduce.
Very legal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, legal. Legal
I'm
stuff.
19.
Yeah, you're good.
Card me, dude.
Perfect.
I got 2 pieces on me. I'm good.
All right, good. Get your applause video card with your age penciled in.
Yeah, my holy name's student card.
Last name McLovin?
Yeah, McLovin.
McLovin. Good. Off the top stuff, tennis. Alcaraz is the new man.
Yep, I'm a tennis fan.
Tennis fan now. I
Yeah.
worked... The other sports, honestly, I have not worked at it. It just came naturally. Tennis, I worked at it.
Honestly, it wasn't you. It was Francis Tiafoe and how likable he
Tiafoe's
is.
so awesome.
So I am on tennis now, so I will no longer... I will still crap on golf during off tops just because I think that... Even though tennis is pretty niche, I feel like golf is nicher.
Old white guys.
Yeah, so they're probably racist.
Probably racist. Also good.
So I don't want to talk golf, tennis, very briefly, very entertaining. I was fully invested into the U.S. Open. Betting helped with that, made some money. Lots of fun, very, very likable guys. And when they're like my age, I think it's a little cool. Like
Yep.
the guy
And
who won the U.S. Open's my age.
You know how we talk about the NRL in this podcast?
Yeah.
Next year, we're going to talk about the GATL. You know what that stands for?
Greater Amherstburg Tennis League.
Boom!
Yeah.
Bill Segrist. And you know who is going to be one of the future representatives of the Greater Amherstburg Tennis League? No. The Amherstburg itself. Who's going to be one of the future representatives?
Oh, Lyndon Crane.
Yeah, Crater for Council.
Yeah, good job, Lyndon.
Yeah, good job. Hashtag Crater for Council.
Yeah.
College football, a couple of great upsets last weekend. So much fun. Appalachian State and Marshall. Good job, guys. So those two schools, between the two of them, got $2.7 million to drive to these stadiums, maybe take a plane, whatever, kick their butts, and walk out with a big check.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, it's very cool. Good job, Notre Dame. Thanks.
Dude just started 0-3. Poor fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he get fired soon, or is he like
No.
Scott Frost, or not yet?
No, he'll have some leeway, I think.
Okay, good. Michigan obviously has played a couple of cupcakes, but they look good. JJ McCarthy. JJ, make it happen, man.
Yeah, I have a few off the top. Do you have any? No, you're done.
Just the Suns owner, Robert Carver. Sarver? What's his name? Sarver.
I don't know.
Bad dude.
Yeah.
$10 million. Suspended for a year for basically being a racist asshat,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't read the stuff. I just
think
saw the
sexist
headline.
too. I think you got both.
Yep, probably.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
2 for 2. Good job, man.
Tigers are currently trending for about 100 losses.
No one cares. My turn. Off the tops.
Seats
It's
are-
my
seat-
turn. As
Seats are
Skip
cheap.
Bayless said.
Seats
No,
are cheap.
I think I'm tapped out. I hit 17. I thought about 20. I don't want to see them lose 7-0 to Houston 3 days during the week. I just don't.
True that.
Even for $8. I won't. Thanks to the listeners. Just good. That's my off the top. Good job to the listeners.
Good job, listeners.
Seeing someone campus around town past little while. Good job. Thanks, listeners, for watching and listening to us. I appreciate the feedback. So thank you. Good job. UFC rocks. Another great card. Love me some UFC. Too bad it goes past 9 p.m. and he can't watch it.
Too late for me.
Speaking of UFC, my new thing, fight videos on Twitter. My whole Twitter feed is just fight videos now. I just follow
awesome.
like street fights.
The Lions fight video after the game. That was pretty intense.
Like I don't know how, but somehow I stumbled on like 25 fight pages, and I follow. So my Twitter feed is it's like Woj, Rappaport, and then just fights.
Bit of politics or no?
No, zero.
Come on.
Zero.
What about Drew and Craner?
Zero. No, zero. It's just fights and some sports stuff. So fights on Twitter, just cool. Like that's just a good niche market here that I'm getting into.
Who?
Niche.
Who asked about your Twitter feed? Full cap.
Okay. No, full cap.
Cap.
No cap is kind of the right way to say that, but that's fine.
No cap.
No cap. And yeah, JJ McCarthy, good job. That's all I got for off the tops.
Okay. Week 1, NFL. We're going to talk about the Lions first, and then we talk about some highlights from the weekend. A tough loss. This is kind of their MO. They fall behind by a fair amount, then they make it close.
I don't really care. Look, I knew they were going to lose. They covered the 5-point spread. So it's fine, right? Like I'm never betting on the Lions. Just speaking of bets, never touching them.
That's smart to just not touch them.
Look, our expectations were very low. We understand.
What are your positives coming out of the Lions' first one?
They've improved a lot. Their offensive line looks great. Their running game is going to be great. Some of the rookies showed flashes. Hutch looked fine. Malcolm Rodriguez.
I don't care. This is like this FFL ranking or whatever that is. They said he's like the 79th out of 80 defensive linemen.
Yeah.
He was in the backfield a ton.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's what an edge rusher's job is.
Yeah, so they were fine. Malcolm Rodriguez was fine. Look, I didn't expect them to win. They made it closer than Vegas and myself and pretty much everybody thought. They're going to be fun to watch. Just have your expectations in the right place, which I think where ours are.
Obviously showed that Goff just is never going to be good enough.
Every now and then I talk myself into like, hey, you know what? Goff's not that bad. He's actually terrible. Like he's terrible. He's awful at his job with all due respect. Because I think he's a good guy.
I think he's a good guy too. He's welcome to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
I just don't want him to be our quarterback.
Respectfully, Jared, you're just bad at your
Jared,
job.
you're welcome to come on.
But bad at your job.
Yeah. A couple of drops hurt stats a little bit. I'm okay with a risky call. Listen, your defense has given up 75 yards. Who cares if you've given up 75 yards or 50 yards?
This is in reference to the onside kick?
Yeah.
I'm fine with the onside kick.
Fine. They were 3 of 9 last year. They were 0-1 this year. Fine.
Yep.
Tough matchup against Hurst, obviously.
Against who?
Hurst?
It's Hurts, dude. We've had this.
Or Hurts. Yep. Yeah.
Hurst is some obscure tight end who played like 8 years ago.
Got it. Does the Lions game change your opinion of how many wins they're going to have this season?
If anything, it shows me that they'll win an extra game.
You said 7.
Was I 7? I don't really remember.
I said 6. You said 7, I think. And you said maybe 8.
Well, you can talk yourself into right. Like people are saying the Eagles are going to contend for the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not on that. They're certainly going to win that division.
Well, they're going to contend for the NFC because the NFC. Well, we'll get into that in a few minutes.
NFC is very open. Look, people are actually using the Eagles as a dark horse Super Bowl team. A lot of them are. Like, there's a lot of national media chatter about that.
Sure, makes sense.
The Lions were very, very close to beating them.
Yes,
and not shorthanded, right? Like. Lions were missing a couple guys. Whatever. Jameson Williams is just going to light up the NFL when he plays.
Yep.
It's fine. It's okay. It was fun. It's fun to watch. It's also fun to watch when you have 6 other games you're watching, rather than not just focused on the Lions. Right?
Absolutely. So, you want any more Lions chatter?
No, I didn't write anything about the Lions, so I was just kind of off the cuff.
Fair enough. So the Bills and the Chiefs are in a separate category. I think we can agree to that.
Are we doing a power ranking?
No, just like the top 2, and then there's a drop off.
Yeah, I'll give you that for the time being. Yeah, 1 week down, sure.
NFC obviously completely wide open. Just think about the guys, the teams that should be contending, right? Dallas, people say they were going to be contending. We didn't agree to that. They are now not irrelevant.
Okay.
Tampa's got some holes. Rams only have 1 wide receiver. Anybody from the NFC East, I guess you're going to say Philly, right?
I don't know. You're just hammering stuff that I didn't prepare, but I'm fine with this.
That's okay. Yeah, you're good off the top.
Philly's gonna win that division, even though Wentz looked good. Wentz looked really good, actually, for a lot of that game. And I was relatively high on the Giants compared to you, compared to a lot of others.
Yeah.
And not that they deserve to win, but they beat Tennessee at Tennessee, I think, right? So
it's a pretty good win.
That's a great win, right?
We think Tennessee was probably a little overrated last year, but still, they were the number 1 seed.
And we called them. We said Joe Burrow's going to upset. We were both on that one.
Yeah, we did. We called that.
So I've got some. Actually, before we go, let me talk about Monday Night Football.
Okay.
And then I have a lot of takeaways, and hopefully you do too.
I do.
And we'll talk about them. So Monday Night Football, very entertaining storyline and game. So do you know what happened at the end? We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, like
Denver. I'm going to set the stage.
Okay, you set the stage.
Okay. So 17-16.
Do we have some eerie music?
No, it's fine.
A little bit of eerie music.
17-16, nice. We're down 1.
Black and white would also just capture the moment.
Do you want to say it?
No, I'm just capturing the moment.
Yeah. 17-16, we're down 1. Denver's down 1. They have 3 timeouts. It's the 4th quarter. It's 4th and 5 at the opponent's 46-yard line. Is that clear?
Yes.
There's 1 minute and 2 left in the game. I have 3 timeouts. That's kind of important to this story. 1 minute 2 left in the game.
And I'm assuming you were listening to the Peyton and Eli broadcast.
I was listening to the Manningcast. Yeah.
Yep.
And it's, like I said, it's 4th and 5, and they kind of go up to the line, and then they kind of settle in a huddle. And then I'm like, take your timeout regardless if you're punting or taking field goal or going for it, because you still have 2 left. And let's say you're taking field goal. Well, you need the timeout to get your boys out, your field goal unit. And then let's say you are, and that will maximize the clock, right? Because if you miss that field goal, you have a miracle at stopping them. Or if you're not kicking field goal and you're going to go for it, you want to get your best 6-yard play, and that's when you're going to roll out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson and Denver staff let the clock go down to 20 seconds. They went in the huddle, went up to the line, couldn't get the play off, took a timeout, not to discuss the play because the play clock was done. So they took a timeout. Everyone's then kind of like, what just happened? Then you see Brandon McManus and the field goal team walk out to attempt a 64-yarder in Seattle. Then they try the kick. It's wide left, but Seattle took a timeout.
To freeze him.
It was wide left, like way, way left. Okay, that's fine. And then...
Did it have the distance?
I don't know.
Okay.
And then part of me is like, what if they just trot Russ Wilson out there just because they knew that was going to happen and then just to screw with the Seahawks defense? No, McManus and the team, they stay there. They kick the field goal. Guess what? He misses it wide left. The game is now done. And everyone's just like, right? They have 2 timeouts in their pocket that they just wasted on a long field goal attempt. Russ and the Broncos offense weren't great, but you got to try, right? Like a 6-yard completion to Cortland Sutton or a 64-yard miracle.
Yeah, or a scramble by Russ that he's done 150 times in his career.
Past 3 years, he has not moved much. But
Not
people
a
aren't
lot,
talking about that.
First game of the season, this is why you traded for Russell Wilson.
So Seattle has the ball. Start taking knees to finish the game, right? You probably don't know this.
No.
Denver then starts using timeouts. They use their 2 timeouts to make them knee it an extra couple times. And it's not like you've never ever seen a fumble on a knee. It was just like, now we're using our timeouts. So then the game got elongated and then everyone was kind of upset. So Monday Night Football, very goofy, but good for Seattle. That's all I got there.
Good for Seattle. We like them. I don't have any other Monday night issues. I've got a few other points.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of points. Let's just hammer through them. 1 and 1. Let's go.
So that time from 3:30 to 4:30 on Sunday was awesome. Like, so exciting. I don't think it was great football. Like, there wasn't a ton of scoring prior to that. But guess what? That hour was super duper exciting. That's why you're a fan. That's why you have 3 screens set up to watch all these games. Lots of not a good week for field goal kickers. You heard the Indianapolis dude, the nerd, got cut.
Rodrigo Blank, it's a very sad day.
Yeah, it's a sad day.
Hashtag gone too soon.
I probably should have put my goggles on to respect Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, yeah.
Yeah, too bad.
So I've got some points. I'll just hammer through.
Yep.
Some serious, some not. The Packers are going to have a really hard time in the passing game. Part of it is Aaron Rodgers taking a step back, and part of it is the receivers suck. Like a dropped 75-yarder. That was hilarious. Like, it was so funny.
The memes are hilarious because it's like, oh, hey, this is the first pass completion to, oh, no, this is a drop, and this will be the last time he ever sees a pass.
Yeah, everyone was saying, like, he's cut or he's traded. I just wanted to say that the Packers are going to have a hard time in the passing game. Another one here. The Rams' offensive line. Rams' O-line did not look good at all. Like, I don't know if that's what's going to set them back. But, next point, Bills' pass rush. Von Miller. If the Bills' pass rush is that good, nobody is stopping them. Because that was kind of a thing last year that people talked about. And
I just have a little something we're going to talk about afterwards.
Yeah, talk about it now, because it's just going to distract you.
So, Jason, who I work with, and we're in this fantasy football league together, just sent me a text. The biggest blowout of the season thus far. Tal's dazzling team versus CD's Nuts. Who's the owner of CD's Nuts? I said, you're great name, by the way, but that's okay. So I beat him 133 to 106. That's the biggest blowout of the season so far.
When? Yeah, that's what I thought. I'll keep it moving.
Thanks, Jason.
Another one. Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott was terrible. Stop texting Jason with all due respect.
I got to tell him perfect timing.
So Dak Prescott was getting booed. Like, he was awful. And then he got injured. And then he got booed as they got him off the field and they threw crap at him.
Really?
Yeah, there wasn't
That is terrible.
So the whole thing...
So now we only have one reason. We used to have 2 reasons to cheer for Dallas. I kind of liked Dak. I really did. I think he was a little bit overrated, but I think he's a pretty good dude.
He's a great guy.
And he put up some stats. But now we have a boy there, right? Dakota's there.
Correct.
But you're booing your quarterback? This isn't Philadelphia.
So he sucked, and he was getting booed, which I'm totally fine with, right? Like, if you're absolutely sucking, opening week, Sunday Night Football, in a home game you shouldn't even be hosting, fine. Boo him.
No.
You are anti-boo? Your guys?
Anti-boo Dak Prescott, yes.
Booing the offense. They're booing the team.
Oh.
Booing Dak Prescott as he limped off, that's completely different, and that was terrible.
Yes, okay. I am okay with booing your offense, but I am not okay with booing Dak Prescott. That's low blow.
Yeah, everyone is, except Dallas. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Aaron Rodgers. Here's the thing we just need to talk about. Last year, they got blown out in the first game of the season by New Orleans. Then they came back and they were great. I don't think that's going to happen again, but we just need to be aware of the fact that Aaron Rodgers, as much as he's a scumbag asshat from a different universe, he makes plays. So I think Green Bay is going to be okay. I still think they're going to win the division Although, obviously, Vikings look good. Rams needed another wide receiver. Like, Kupp can't do it all.
Allen Robinson. They just didn't throw to him.
Why did they not throw to him?
You gotta look. He was wide open a lot of the time.
Was he?
Yeah, people are pulling the race card saying Stafford's racist for only throwing a Kupp, which I think is just a funny
It's
joke.
just stupid.
It's kind of funny though.
Is it just being funny or is
Yeah,
it?
like
Okay,
people
all right.
like brought in like Family Guy memes and just made a whole joke of it.
Got it.
I agree. The just throwing to Kupp, like I love Kupp, but like the 8-yard curl can only get you 8 yards, right?
Yeah. So Jimmy Garoppolo, he is going to maybe be the starter in San Francisco, maybe be the starter in Dallas. What's going to happen there?
Yeah. So one of my points is we can just bring this to my other point and talk about both. The Niners-Bears game was just an ugly, ugly display of football. Whether you can blame
It was a slip and slide.
Lance and Fields both looked pretty bad.
Yeah.
Lance showed a couple flashes. Fields showed a couple flashes. I'm still picking Lance over Fields. If we were to have that conversation right now, I'm picking Lance.
It's a good question. I don't have enough to make that judgment call.
Oh, I've as much as you. I think Lance is my thing is Shanahan's
Listen,
smart.
I think San Francisco way over Chicago, but you put
No. Here's my thing. Shanahan is really smart. He wouldn't go all in on a guy who's just gonna be meh.
I agree with you.
And that's my thinking.
Yep.
So yeah, what were you saying? The Grappo thing? I don't like that how he's still there. Like it just doesn't really show trust in him. Do you think he'll actually
Trust in
start?
Garoppolo or trust in Lance?
Trust in Lance. Do you think he'll be starting soon? Like I hope not.
No. He would have to be really bad, and they have to be like 1-4. I don't know what their schedule is like coming up, but really bad 1-4. Shout out to Evan. He's so happy that Barkley is back. He just texted me, and he's just so happy.
Evan's my friend.
Good for Evan. Evan might like me more than he likes you.
No, he doesn't. Well, he can't guard me, but
I can guard you.
okay.
Not for a long period of time, though. Something's going to break on me.
I really miss Andrew Luck. Every now and then a video of him surfaces on.
It was a great video last week.
Last week it was a video of him at Stanford.
Yeah.
He had some, he was going to Stanford Hall of Fame and just, started talking about, the Women's Hall of Fame and how he's got 2 girls and he wants them to have the same opportunity. He's just such a likable dude.
But it did not sound like it was a canned
script.
woke script. It was just, he's a good dude.
Oh, he was talking, yeah, and he's just so likable and, maybe last year this time, he was on, College Football Game Day or something. And it was him and RG3 talking. And then RG3's like, where you been, man? And Andrew Luck's full-time daddy duty. And he's just this big joke of a guy. I loved Andrew Luck. He was awesome. He was underappreciated.
He was so good.
And he got booed when he left the field. I don't know if you remember that, right? It leaked. Andrew Luck's retiring while he was in the stadium.
Oh, that's right.
And then they booed as he left the field, and it was this whole big ugly thing.
Weak sauce.
Yeah, I like Andrew Luck. Okay, what else you got?
You go.
Okay. QBs who are supposed to suck. This is a fun game. Carson Wentz.
That's a fun game.
27-41, 313, 4 tutties, 2 picks.
Oh, you look at the leaders from last week, and they're like, supposed to suck, supposed to suck, supposed to suck.
Then, Geno Smith, who, do you know what he said after the game? This is an all-time line that needs to be framed.
I don't think so.
So after he's getting interviewed, he says, they wrote me off. I ain't right back, though. Was the Geno Smith line talking about how everyone's
They wrote me off.
I ain't right back, though.
I ain't right back, though.
That's what Geno Smith said in the sense that everyone was like, he's done, he's just a backup. They wrote him off, he didn't write back. So I'm full on Geno Smith bandwagon now.
Okay.
What's another one do we have? Do you have any more? I'll keep going.
You keep going. I got a couple more, but...
Do you know who Cade York is?
That is the kicker for Cleveland who hit a bomb to win.
So he hit a 58-yarder to win the game.
So we like him, but we hate Cleveland.
It's 58-yarder. It was good from about 80.
Oh my God, it was a rocket.
If you look at the kick, it was that looks like it's a 40-yard field goal or 35-yard field goal with how high it hit the net.
Yeah.
This was a 58-yarder that he just absolutely
Did you see the stats as to what it would be good from?
No, I would like to see that.
We should look that up.
Okay.
If one of our fans could look that up and let us know, that would be sweet.
Yeah, this isn't live.
No, but you'll drop it tomorrow, right?
Or Thursday.
It's Tuesday night, by the way.
Yeah, it's Tuesday night. Okay, what else do you have?
Aaron Rodgers, we talked about. Ramsey, another receiver.
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley. No, that's all I got.
Okay. Don't blitz Patrick Mahomes. So the Cardinals decided to be cute. They blitzed him. I got some numbers here.
So you go.
Okay.
You showed me some really funny stuff on Sunday.
Okay.
No,
Not yet. Patrick Mahomes was blitzed 54% of the time by the Cardinals. This is the most in his career. 30 for 39, 360, 5 touchdowns. Don't blitz Mahomes. Don't blitz Mahomes, even without Tyreek Hill. It's just stupid that the Cardinals thought they're going to be cute. And that goes the same for Herbo and Allen and that kind of thing. Yeah, you blitz him every now and then just to kind of mix things up, especially if your defense is already sucking. But still, stupid Arizona and good Mahomes. Okay, go ahead now about the meme.
So Isaac introduced me to the two little memes regarding Kyler Murray.
Now, people probably might not know him. The older folk won't know.
So Kyler Murray is, I think, 5'10 and a quarter. There's a lot of controversy about him getting drafted, number 1 overall, too little. And he has loads of talent, right? He was going to be maybe he was a first-round draft pick as a baseball pitcher. He can run, he can throw, he can make stuff happen. He doesn't seem to win a lot, especially later in the season. But he's little. So you just need to look up Kyler Murray too little. How do you find that stuff?
Well, you can look up like if you look up like Kyler Murray Highway, there's memes of like it's like this,
driving to sign his contract, driving to do his homework, that kind of stuff.
So it's basically like this. Like when I say go-kart, I mean like it's like a
little remote control car.
Like it's a remote. It's a Lego-sized car that's just on the highway next to regular-sized cars.
It's awesome.
And then everyone just makes fun of him, make fun of his hand size, right? And I don't really like Kyler Murray.
Oh, I didn't see the hand size one, but you told me about it.
Yeah, right. Same with the Kenny Pickett memes. This hand size. I've got another. Justin Jefferson. Thoughts on Justin Jefferson for a minute?
So here's the deal. It is a quarterback league, and everybody's known that for a long time. Running backs are big for a long time. It's a quarterback league, and right behind it, stud wide receivers. It's part of the deal, right? Like you think about the best teams in the league, most of them have a quarterback and a wide receiver that are studs. You know, the odd time you've got one who's great at one and just slightly below grade in the other, but you need a good quarterback and you need at least one great wide receiver.
So Justin Jefferson, Green Bay had the idea of just not guarding him for the duration of the game.
I saw something where the one guy was like, "Oh, I'm going to guard him. I want to take him alone," and he was just roasted by this guy.
Well, Jair Alexander wanted to guard him, but the Packers didn't give it to him. But then whenever Jair Alexander was on him, Jefferson cooked him. Is kind of what happened.
Yeah, I saw a couple of plays, and it was like he was so open.
So Justin Jefferson, I bet $5 Offensive Player of the Year on JJ. Vegas already wants me to cash out. I can already cash out for $8. So this is just going to be an
extreme. So you can make $3 already?
Already. After one crazy game.
Super.
This is going to go.
What can you buy for $3?
So, like another $3 bet. A $3 future bet.
Yeah, $3 future bet.
So $5.
Too little.
It's going to turn into $75 when he wins Offensive Player of the Year. So I'm looking forward to that cash out.
Good.
Russell Wilson, speaking of booing, has just been a subject here. Russell Wilson getting booed like crazy in Seattle makes zero sense to me.
I agree with you.
What happened? So let's say Stafford comes to Detroit, and
Stafford is coming to Detroit this year.
Okay, so he's not. They're gonna go nuts for him.
Oh my God, he's gonna get a standing ovation. Kelly's gonna be like a rock star,
crying. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we should go to that game.
I would like to. Yes.
Okay.
How different is him getting booed than Russell Wilson getting booed back to Seattle?
It's actually less.
That's kind of what I thought. Because Staff didn't get us a ring.
Correct. Staff did less. But listen, when we talked to like Seattle fans and went out there, like everybody loved Russell, and they should love him. He was awesome. He was a good dude. He won them a Super Bowl.
And I know he's a little. Some people kind of make fun of him. He's a little phony. He says some goofy stuff.
Spends $1 million a year on his hair and his body.
He
and stuff.
fakes,
so what?
like fake. He practices high fives and that kind of thing. Whatever. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Denver. I did not like seeing him get
12 should be better than that.
Yeah. So with that down, we are good to transition to Rewatchables. I have our guest hopefully ready.
Yeah.
So set the stage, and I will call him right now.
Okay. So Isaac and I have done a lot of sports stuff lately, and we haven't really worked in as much fun non-sports stuff, and a lot of our fans asked for that. The folks at Kata Food Bar, I was there just last night, and we were talking about different things, and they were giving me some ideas. The first idea was talk about how old white guys are creeps and shouldn't hit on little girls. I didn't think our fans would love that topic. Second topic was favorite Italian foods. Third one, and I came up with that, and Isaac agreed, Rewatchables by Isaac Tal and special guest Isaac Oglan, number 1 draft pick. Welcome to the show, Isaac.
Wow, guys. Thanks for having me on, guys.
So Isaac is, when he said we're doing movies, respectfully to a lot of the others, Isaac was the guy that we hadn't had on the show that we should have.
Absolutely, we should have.
So he's my first text, and he answered
right away. I saw him yesterday, and I was so happy to see him.
Wow, great to see you guys. Thanks for having me on, guys. I'm super excited.
Okay, Isaac, is there anything that people should know about you before we get started?
Guys, I'm just an avid film fan, friend of Isaac and Tal, and I'm also a huge fan of the podcast. So just glad to be here. You know.
Respect. Who do you like more, me or Tal?
Wow, what a question. I'm gonna save that. Maybe we'll save that till the end. Everybody's got to keep listening.
Just remember that PowerPoint presentation last night. That was pretty good.
That was great, and I based some of my notes off of your PowerPoint skills here. So
Okay,
I have a great organization here.
So Isaac, you start things off. So his name's Isaac. I'm also Isaac, guys. So there's two.
Yeah.
Just so there's gonna be some confusion to
We
those.
want to call you Ogs?
Oh,
Sure.
Isaac Jr. He can be Isaac Jr.
Wow, Isaac loves calling me that, huh?
Yeah.
Isaac Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay, Isaac Jr. Oglan. That's who you are. Rewatchables. Let's, again, set some ground rules. We took out some, at least I took out, and I think Isaac Sr. took out some of the obvious ones, right? Shows that you want to sit and watch again. It's a Saturday afternoon. There's not a lot going on. Michigan's ahead by 72 over Hawaii, and you're flipping through the channels, and you see shows like Shawshank, Star Wars, Step Brothers, Die Hard, Indy, Rocky series. Those are not counted on rewatchables because those are just way too obvious, right?
Fine.
I took out also Christmas movies, holiday movies like that maybe you would watch around certain times of the year. Took those out as well.
Yeah, Christmas Vacation was actually on my list, and I took it off because I thought that was too obvious. Right? Shitter's full, great line, everybody knows it. That's not anything that's terribly interesting.
Okay, so Isaac Jr. Do your first movie. Hit us with it.
Okay, so my first rewatchable, first thing that came to mind for me was I think that comedies are easily one of the most rewatchable things just because they make us laugh so much. And my list is all movies. So I picked for this one my favorite comedy, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Classic. Lots of different funny faces in that one. There's some deleted scenes too. I laugh at every single joke still. I think that's one of the classics. Do you guys have any comedies on yours?
You know what? I'll pull a comedy as well. I did not think of 40-Year-Old Virgin, and that is a great pull. I'm going to give another comedy, and I'm going to go with Tommy Boy. Chris Farley, David Spade, funny role with Dan Aykroyd.
Yes.
That was a good movie.
Yes.
So my comedy to match yours is Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
So I've got a comedy. It's a pretty obscure one. I think you both have seen it. The Benchwarmers.
Yes.
Okay, so this is one that it's still on Netflix, I think. I remember watching this when I was 13. I just thought it was the funniest thing ever, and it's one that I go back to all the time. It's on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, it's incredibly dumb. It's so dumb.
What's the main character?
Well, you get Rob Schneider.
Yeah, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
He's pretty funny.
It's so funny. So the Benchwarmers would be my comedy.
Okay.
Nice.
Isaac, you go hit us with a couple more.
So for the next one, I went with another one. This one, a little bit more modern. I went with something that maybe is very well written. So this is a movie that you can watch multiple times and you can pick up things more and more from that. I wanted to pick a movie maybe like Shutter Island or something else like that with a twist. But I thought that maybe if you're watching a movie, takes the rewatch value down with the twist. But this movie has a twist. I believe that even when you know it, it's still good to watch. I'm going with Jordan Peele's first film, Get Out.
Oh, that's a great movie.
So I have Get Out written.
I wrote it down, but then I took it off just because I knew Isaac would have that one for sure. That's one of Isaac's probably top 5 all time.
It's probably not. It's close. Isaac and I, we both love it. Okay, you're a big Jordan Peele guy. Get Out. Just quick thoughts and what side are you on?
As I've seen Get Out multiple times, and I saw it in theater a couple times as well. Just because as a movie, it's just so well written. Every piece of dialogue, everything they say has a meaning to the story, to what could happen, to every word that's said in the movie has a connection. Every line of dialogue, and I've watched it a bunch of times. I still can't find anything that doesn't have a connection. I think that just being so well written like that, you can, even if you're not paying attention and you pick up something on the second watch, it just brings the value up so much for that one.
Okay, and I think we're going to find a lot of similarities here, either the same movie or very similar themes. I've got my correlation to you as a Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
You watch it. Every time you watch it, you pick up different things. Some of the subliminal stuff with Brad Pitt. That's my Get Out just 30 years ago.
That's a great pick. That is a great pick, and I love David Fincher.
So yeah, both are Get Out. I love Get Out. I'm gonna put on after we finish recording. I got some schoolwork. I'm gonna put Get Out on the background now.
Wow.
Fight Club is awesome. Fight Club, but we can't talk about it.
What about you, Isaac? Do you have one that's comparable to these ones?
I will go with Moneyball. I think is pretty comparable to these two.
Yeah, well written.
It should
Yeah,
not
it was
be
good.
as rewatchable as it is because it's just a lot of talking and numbers and nerdy stuff.
This shows you how good it
Yeah.
is. Non-baseball fans really enjoy that movie.
Yeah.
So Moneyball would be mine. That's kind of
Another great example of good writing that is easy for the audience to understand too. I love that.
Yep.
So for this next one, I'm sure you guys have a category for this one as well, but I wanted, because I love gangster movies, crime movies, all that kind of stuff. There's so many, Goodfellas, Scarface, The Godfather, that I wanted to put on the list. But I decided to go with The Irishman, because I'm sure Isaac knows I love that movie and I've seen it a bunch of times. But I went with that one because I feel that The Irishman is like, it's like a highlight tape of all these gangster actors in this one movie, and I think it's incredible too. So that was my pick.
Love the mafia movies. I threw Goodfellas down because I needed to throw a mafia movie in there. Good connection. Isaac, what do you got?
I will. So I like the game that we're just kind of transitioning it and trying to make it work. I'm going to use the Al Pacino piece and bring it to Scent of a Woman.
Hoo-wah!
Wow.
Scent of a Woman.
Nice.
Again, like this movie, it should not be rewatchable. It's about a blind dude and like a preppy kid. It's so good. Like it's so many scenes are great, and obviously the courtroom scene is like an all-time speech kind of monologue that Al Pacino gives.
Oh, so good.
Scent of a Woman, and it's a really underrated movie. Like I think it's really good.
Wow.
See, the key point about these movies is they're generally well written, and there's always 2 or 3 scenes that stick out to you. Some of them stick out because they're just silly and funny. Some of them stick out because they're courtroom scenes that you should just, if you've got 5 minutes to kill, just pull that up and watch it.
Facts.
Okay, Junior, what do you got?
That's me. Okay, so for this next one, I'm going with this one is more of a franchisee pick. Out of there's a lot of franchise out there, but I'm going with the 11 total hours of Lord of the Rings trilogy, Peter Jackson. Such an immersing world, and it's definitely a trilogy I come back to every couple of years. I know Isaac's not a fan of it, but it's just an example of great directing too all around, because Peter Jackson, you really fall into this world that he's made for the movies. And even as like I've never even read the books or anything like that, but I don't even know too much of the lore, but it feels like I'm in the world.
Again, I agree with you. They were very, very well done.
Let the record show I am a Lord of the Rings guy. 3 hours is a long time to watch, and there's 3 of them.
So my connection, it's a bit of a loose one. I had to pull here the social justice theme. I've got Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. And
Wow.
that's an ode to my buddy Urban Paul. I texted Urban Paul. Just so you know, Isaac Jr., he was the backup for you because he's a big movie guy as well.
Respect
So
for
I've
that.
got Spike Lee, Do the Right Thing as the social justice theme.
Shout out to Irvin Paul. Great movie. Love that one.
That's how you know he watched the show when he's just shout out Urban Paul. When was the last time you saw Do the Right Thing again, Tal?
Long time ago. I told you that was an Urban Paul pick. He's
Okay.
my boy.
I know it is. Okay. I'll do a franchise one.
And by the way, Urban Paul, Molly is poop.
So 3 people know what that means. You, Urban Paul, and Molly. No one else knows what that means.
Yep.
I'll do a franchise one. It came out last year. Spider-Man No Way Home. I've already seen it a bunch of times. I'm going to watch this movie for the rest of my life all the time.
Wow.
It's the best Spider-Man movie ever made. I've got good memories seeing this opening night with Isaac. How many guys went
I
with?
remember.
Like 18 guys.
A lot of people.
We had a huge group. We saw it opening night. Some of them were dressed up. It was a lot of fun. So Spider-Man No Way Home would be one that is on Amazon Prime that you can watch regularly now. That is just like so entertaining.
Okay, Junior, what do you got?
I'm just going to say on the last point Isaac made, I'm just going to put Spider-Verse over that movie, and then we'll just move on from there.
So that's the cartoon one, right?
This next one, I thought of maybe a little bit of a basic answer, but I went with a cartoon that you can watch. It's hilarious from when you first watch it as a child, probably until you're an old man. I went with Shrek.
Shrek, again, a really good one. Shrek did a really good job of appealing to kids and grown-ups. And then when the kids saw it 10 years later, like, oh, some of the stuff is a little bit inappropriate, but so funny.
Yes.
This is going to be a tough pull for me, so I'm going to have to go with Princess Bride. Comedy, lots of funny stuff. And again, as you get a little bit older, you understand some of the mature themes in it. I thought Princess Bride was really funny.
Great adventure film. That is a great pick.
Andre the Giant should have been in more movies.
Facts.
Yeah.
No,
Should have.
no cap.
No cap.
The Rock of his time. He could have been the Rock of his time.
It's true. Maybe a little less nimble.
Yeah.
So I can't transition that to anything. I'm just going to say a movie that I bet Isaac's heard of it. Tal, you probably heard of it from me. It's called The Raid.
Wow, great action movie. Yes.
Okay, so Isaac's seen it. This is the most obscure one I have. It's an Indonesian action film from 2011. It's the best action you'll ever see in a movie. Like the hand-to-hand combat it's like they just filmed ninjas.
You told me about it, but I have not seen it. Let's try and watch that soon.
Very influential film. Influence on John Wick. They put the guys from The Raid. They're in the Star Wars movies too.
R-A-I-D?
R-A-I-D.
Yeah. Huge action movie. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a big actor. Like that's probably my go-to genre, my favorite genre. It's probably action.
I got some similar themes later on, but Junior up. What do you got?
I'm gonna continue the action theme as a visual action masterpiece. I'm gonna go with 2015's George Miller's Mad Max Fury Road. There's barely any dialogue. It's all action packed. I can watch it over and over again. Love that movie. One of the best action movies.
I just think it's overrated. I never really enjoyed it, and I don't know why everybody loved it so much. There's like, okay, you're driving down the road, and these people are kind of weird. Oh, and you're still driving down the road, and yeah, these people are weird.
We can
and
have
that's
a whole
about
podcast
it.
Arguing about this one for sure.
Yeah, that's
for
probably
sure.
a side topic. So I guess I have to go with a slightly weird action movie. I'm gonna go with Bloodsport. It was cheesy and awesome, and I love it. Forrest Whitaker plays a good character. Jean-Claude Van Damme, the muscles from Brussels. Love me some Bloodsport.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go with. I've got two more action movies. I'm gonna get them out of the way. We don't have to talk about them long. It's Die Hard and Predator, respectfully and respectively.
Respect.
Yeah, Die Hard I threw in my...
It's my favorite. Die Hard's my favorite
obvious.
movie of all time.
You had to put it down.
Out of respect, I had to. And Predator.
I have Die Hard on my honorable mentions for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
We can go to. I have a couple more left. I got 3 left.
I have 3 left. Junior, you have 3 left as well?
I have 3 left. Yes, I'm gonna say these two. These are more personal. My next two. Okay, I'll put them together. I'm gonna go. These are both fun movies. Both visual, very visual in different ways. Eccentric. The first one is Scott Pilgrim versus the World by Edgar Wright. That movie, based off a comic book, super fast cut, super fast pace, action packed, funny, just a really fun watch. And I love it. I would watch it a bunch of times. It's an underrated one. And the second one is Wes Anderson's Isle of Dogs. That's just a super great story, I think, with great animation. And one of my all-time favorites. I always go back to it. I hope more people watch it.
I haven't seen it. Isaac Senior, have you seen that one?
I haven't seen that one. So Uncle Dante is like, this is one of his all-time favorite movies, and he really wanted me to watch it. I just don't love the Wes Anderson artsy stuff. Dad, you remember Grand Budapest Hotel? It's that guy.
Oh, I love Grand Budapest Hotel.
So then you're going to love
Grand
this.
Budapest as well.
Okay.
I love Grand Budapest, yeah.
I think
And Isle of Dogs is a simple story, too. It's a very simple but very emotional.
Tal's a little slow, so he likes simple stories.
It's true. Yeah. I have a bit of a relaxed brain. Okay, so I guess we're just going to pick a couple of favorites and a little bit thematic in terms of I'm an 80s guy. So I got to go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off, ultimate cult classic. Obviously, Mr. Rooney's such a great character.
Hey.
Charlie Sheen with his spectacular cameo. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. If you're ever taking a bunch of kids on a field trip or you need to entertain them for 2 hours, just put on some FBDO.
I will.
Wow.
I'll keep it in the same. This one's similar.
FBDO.
Same vein. The original Karate Kid.
Oh,
Wow, classic.
we were watching recently and somebody said, Daniel LaRusso's going to fight?
Yeah, so we were watching football on the weekend, Isaac. We like football. And one of the announcers made like a kicker was injured and then he came back in the game.
Butker is the kicker's name.
And the announcer was like, whoa, this is like Daniel LaRusso. Daniel LaRusso's coming out of the locker room. He's going to fight. And then we were going nuts. Karate Kid is maybe my most rewatchable movie ever. I've seen that because I watched that. Like I probably first watched that when I was 6.
Yeah.
And I'm 19 now and I've seen it a billion times.
Yep.
Junior,
what I got?
He's got one more.
Should have 2 more.
This will be my last one.
Oh, no, he's got, last one.
I mixed those last. I have some honorable mentions, but this is my last one that I have categorized and on the list. It's a romance. I had to throw a romance in there.
If you say Titanic, we're hanging up on you, dude.
Of course I won't. I'm going to say it's called 500 Days of Summer. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's a beautiful story.
I heard it's good.
Beautiful story, beautiful movie. It's just a great romance, and it's a great. It's a movie told from. It's like a rom-com told from the perspective of a man too, which is always, I feel like, more relatable because this rom-com particularly, I feel like it's super relatable, and it's just really good. It's really great, and that's all I'll say about that one.
So let me add on to that. I'm not a romance movie. I'm not a romance movie guy at all. 500 Days of Summer is so good. Like it's so incredible.
Good.
Okay, I'll watch it.
Wow.
It might be Disney Plus now.
I think it's Amazon Prime, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful one. It's a beautiful story.
You might be right. It's
sure.
something. It's something easily able to watch. So I've got.
It's a great watch. I would recommend watch it by yourself and just have a great night by yourself. You know.
That's nice.
Need
some Kleenex?
Okay, go ahead.
So I took out a couple of the romance, nicey movies like Life is Beautiful and Dance with Wolves.
That's a good one.
Those are both good movies, but I took them out because I just didn't think our audience would appeal to those. So I picked a couple of feel good, you enjoy, pumps up your adrenaline a little bit. Rudy, like, how many times can you watch that? You're 5'0", 100 and nothing speech. Anytime you feel down on yourself, you need to watch that speech. And then obviously the ending scene where he gets a sack. And then also maybe the jersey scene where the entire team puts down their jerseys for Rudy, coach.
Rudy.
That's good. I got two more. Second last, Falling Down with
Michael Douglas.
With Michael Douglas.
So good.
Isaac, have you seen it? I don't think we've talked about this.
I don't think I have seen that one.
Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it.
It's for some reason it's really like kind of obscure. Like it shouldn't be.
It's kind of cultish. I don't know why it never kind of went mainstream.
It's on Netflix now. They just added it.
Okay, good.
I hope everyone watches it. I know no one will, but you should. It is aged horribly, which makes it even more rewatchable. Like
it's just so racist.
It's just it's like wow, they put that in a movie.
Like the section with the Latinos, so bad.
No, there's worse stuff. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Where it's like this didn't come out 100 years ago. It came out in the 90s. It came out in 93. So Falling Down, and then my last one, Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Wow, I was actually going to put that on the list too, but I thought maybe people would think I'm too dark.
So, like, I don't think anybody would categorize the three of us as dark. I think we're about the most positive three people you're ever going to find. And Nightcrawler was fantastic. It took me a while before I watched it. And then I watched it with Isaac. I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. I don't know how he did that with his eyes, but he was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, great performance by Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yep.
Did you have one more?
And I have some honorable mentions that I just want to rattle off.
I'm just going to throw the one more feel good is Remember the Titans, Denzel Washington. It's a feel good sports movie. Some debated it one of the best sports movies of all time. I think that's probably ranked a little bit high. But it's a feel good one where you want some pump up scenes. Watch that. Junior, what do you got? You got some good honorable mentions?
Yeah, I actually have a sports movie on here too. Coach Carter, another great sports movie.
I agree.
I remember watching that a lot when I was a kid too. I have Elf on here, another classic Christmas one. I have Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2. I always thought in my household we always used to watch those on Christmas for some reason. It feels like a Christmas movie to me now.
Yeah, and I think Catherine would love those
as well. Yeah,
I'm a Kill Bill guy.
And I also have Inglourious Basterds as well because I think that Inglourious Basterds is also a feel good movie and it has really, really intense scenes, even if you've already watched it and you know what's going to happen, they're still very intense.
And you can call that historical fiction. I love reading historical fiction, and I like watching movies of the same vein.
Okay. Isaac, thanks for coming on, brother. This is awesome.
Thanks for having me on, guys, for real.
We'll be in touch. We'll talk soon. Anything to say to the fans before we let you go?
I just want to say, guys, I only came on here to say one thing, and that was the truth. So I did my job.
Respect.
You the man, Isaac. You the man.
Respect. Okay, Tal's my favorite. See you guys.
See ya.
See you, brother.
Okay, that was a really good call-in by Isaac, and he had no prep. Like, I don't know, he had 3 hours notice, and he worked, so he basically had no prep. He just did that off the top of his head, but he is a really good movie guy, obviously.
I think
Thanks for coming on the show.
I think there's we're in some sort of multiverse, because him and I, same names, moms are both English teachers, both have respectable takes. He's a good dude. He's my man.
Both have dads with a little bit of personality.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can finish. Should I do my brief betting thing and before wrapping up?
I think you do your brief betting thing. Now, I just think we need to do a drop about the bakery. It's going to be a theme over some future episodes. The bakery. Go ahead, Isaac.
You don't want to expand. You want to...
No. Just want to leave him hanging.
Golly.
Bakery, what's that?
Okay, all right. We'll tell you about the bakery later. So here is a new segment called Isaac's Ice Cold Picks. Okay?
Isaac's Ice Cold Picks.
Ice Cold Picks. Now, ice cold meaning like good, but like ice in the veins, but it could be cold like also bad because they might be bad picks. You know what I mean? So I think what I'm going to do is every week, NFL season, stop checking Tigers score. They suck.
Eric Haas has been on fire lately.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a few money lines and games that I like, and I'm going to parlay them. Put, $10, 15, 20 bucks. Parlay with these.
With how many?
So I did 4 games.
Okay.
So I looked at the slate for week 2. There's 4 games. I think they're all 1 o'clock games, which is actually going to be nice to follow. And I'm just betting on winners. So this is, with these 4 teams, betting on them to win, not spread. I was going to do spread for a couple, maybe later. My odds are plus 620, 619. So like 6 to 1. Bucks to beat the Saints in New Orleans. Ravens to beat the Dolphins in Baltimore. Browns to beat the Jets in Cleveland.
Okay.
Then, this is the only upset pick. The Steelers to beat the Patriots in Pittsburgh. Najee Harris is likely going to play. So I put $10 down on these 4 games. If it wins, it'll return like $72. So I'm just going to do money lines, right? You can make the case for all these. If they all hit, then we celebrate. If not, then we look at the week 3 schedule and we lose $10 on that week. Thoughts on the picks?
Is Isaac's Ice Cold Picks going to be a regular segment?
It might be. Should it be?
Let's see. I think I like it. But let's get some input from the fans.
Okay, we'll ask the
46 minutes later, if you're still listening and you are interested in Isaac's Ice Cold Picks, please shout out to us on Insta.
The Truth with T&I is the Instagram. Reach out there.
The Truth with T&I.
If you see me on campus around town, say what's up. Always got time for me.
Do you wear your stuff at your swag?
No, but I could. People.
You need to start wearing your Truth with.
I'll shout out. I
school.
Saw Martin Corcus, who's a big supporter, comments on these. I saw him and he was
that dude we saw at Zaris. That was awesome.
Yeah, we'll see, and it's hilarious to us. We wouldn't be anywhere without the fans. We wouldn't be anywhere without you guys
because we're so far with them.
Correct. Exactly. So thanks, guys. That's all I got for the people. You wrap things up.
Okay, thanks very much, everybody. Episode 75 was a great one. Have some football, have some fun, and the bakery. See ya.
The bakery.